was a great win for our program, our university, our students, our alumni. Whenever you can win a rivalry game. And again, as you guys have all printed and wrote and said, and appropriately so, it hasn't been much of a rival or a rivalry, and I think it is now. Just as a credit to our kids, how hard they played. Because it hasn't been the easiest of a year for us this year with all these new guys, losing close games at the buzzer. So for these kids on a big stage with the lights on and a rival game to show such character and heart, just really proud of those guys. And, you know, again, I owe a lot of credit to our fans. Our student body came out. They were tremendous. Hopefully we can continue to have those fans come out like that because it helps. It was great. And I thought that was probably my English might not be proper, but that might have been the most special part of the night was to see our student body storm the court. Because, you know, Duquesne basketball hasn't had that in a while. So to see that, I think it's great. And again, you know, as a coach, man, it's really one game. It's just one game. We have to build on this and get better. But, you know, to enjoy the night and to enjoy the win for our fans and, like I said, our students, I think it's great.
With all the new players that you have, what did you, your staff, or your other players have to do the rest of the impact of this rivalry, especially for your team?
This was a little bit different because it snuck up on us this year in regards to, you know, my scheduling. We've played, feels like we've played like a dozen games, right? We played, I don't even know what day's today. Today's what, Friday? So we played Wednesday. Okay, so we didn't have much time to really talk about Pitt, to be quite honest. We had 24 hours, and we lost. We lost a really tough game at home the other night, so it was a quick turnaround. We focused more on ourselves on Thursday. We spent more time focusing on ourselves than we did on Pitt. We did get the scout report on Pitt yesterday afternoon, and then some today. And then we talked about it. We talked about more about the, you know, the pride of you know, we have the names on the back of our uniforms, but it's really about what's on the front of the uniforms. And it is a rivalry. You know, the closeness. These kids know each other. They play pickup basketball with each other at Duquesne or at Pitt all the time. So, you know, there's bragging rights with that. And then we also talked like it's been a while. You know, it's been a while that Duquesne's won it. So it's something that we want to do for our fans. And for me as a coach, I want to do it more for the former players, the guys that have worn the jersey and have done it before, or the guys that have been in these battles and haven't won it. And then again, for the university, for the fans, for everybody. So I think it's, you know, they understand it. You know, they understand it, but we didn't, you know, it wasn't like we talked about it all week. You know, we can't do that.
Well, what you guys were able to do defensively tonight, was that particularly gratifying, you know, with the struggle you had leading up to this game?
You know, we've actually been defending okay, except for the last game, which you were at, so I understand your statement on that. We've actually been defending better than we were last year at this point. The thing was sustaining in this game. You know, we had the lead, and we held on to the lead, and we won the game, and we finished the game. I think that was more rewarding and more important, that hopefully, you know, we can build upon that.
Jim, how much did you feel the game at the overall stretch change? What did you find out?
I found out, you know, right at jump ball. And then it was really on the fly because, you know, we didn't know. And then, you know, Mike Young is such a dynamic scorer right now. I mean, he's arguably one of the best players in the country right now. So we, you know, we took an approach of we were going to try to stop him, but then we got to stop everybody else because he's going to get 25. And then in the flow of the game, when I recognized who was in, I decided to leave Mike Lewis as an overhelp sad guy in the lane to kind of adapt, and we didn't do a great job of it because we didn't get to practice it. It was something we did on the fly. We just kind of kept making some adjustments on it, and the kids did a great job, and we tried to frustrate Mike, which we did because I think he had 15 at half and finished with 19. You know, but obviously when someone's missing a play, hey, listen, you know, Artis is a big loss for them, and so isn't Josh Steele and Cale Abrahamson for us as well. So we had some guys that were out as well, but it's part of it. But I think it did adjust our game plan towards them a little bit, to answer your question.
Okay, it went up 10 in the first half. You guys sort of had the 6-0 run, or lead from Benfica to close the half, or 9-0. How did that sort of have you guys
No, not at all. Listen, this is a great win for us, but we're Division I scholarship basketball players too. Like, being close at half is not a win. What we knew was going to be difficult to score against them, their size. So we had 29 points at half. Okay, that we knew we were going to be around that range. What we did defensively was more important. We were able to keep them at 30 where they weren't at 40, where it would have been a tougher game to come back to. I thought the kids really played to the game plan. They played to who they were. They trusted each other, both offensively and defensively. But by no means did we think, because we were close at half, like, hey, great job. It was more like, okay, now they've got another 20 minutes to play too. And that's where I think I was really proud of our guys to sustain that. I thought actually we came out as the aggressor to start the second half, went on a little bit of run, and then sustained it, even when we struggled scoring in the second half, because I knew we would, because of their defense, and we have had those scoring droughts, but we sustained our defensive focus, which was big for us.
Coach, can you talk about how important the performances of your young guys like Isaiah Mike and Mike Lewis were to this win today?
Huge. First of all, it was huge for these guys, to be in this basketball game. You know what I mean? To be in an environment, to understand this, and they played a major role. And what a lot of people didn't realize, because you should have shut your TV off, and I hope you did. When we were playing Kentucky, I left those guys in. I left the 3 freshmen in a ton in that game in Kentucky because I needed them to get the experience and, figure it out. And I think hopefully that played a part in it with these guys. But I think all these guys are young. Nakai Sanders is really young, okay? Mike Lewis, Isaiah Mike, Terrence Smith is a sophomore basketball-wise. I mean, all these guys are young. And Emil's new to the program, so we're all still trying to figure ourselves out. And but I thought they really stuck together today, and I thought it was huge for everybody in our program.
How much do you think this win will propel you guys for the rest of the season? You guys have had some counter issues early on, but you guys.
We're going to find out. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not too high right now. I'm not going to be, haven't been too low after the losses. We're new. We're consistently inconsistent with a new group and a young group. Hopefully this helps us take that next step with maturity and growth. The biggest thing for us was we didn't turn the ball over. We've been turning the ball over like crazy as being new pieces and trying to figure each other out. If we don't turn the ball over, I think our record would be significantly different. So that's something that we're going to have to build on. Hey, listen, man, we come back here Tuesday night and play another tough local Robert Morris team. I mean, that's going to be a battle just like this is. So we're going to see. We have 2 days of practice to prepare, which hopefully will help us get better.
You went with a short bench for most of this game. Is that kind of the plan coming in, or was this how the game flowed?
Well, I thought some of it was how the game flowed. Some of it was matching up to them. Like we started Nakai Sanders to match up to Mike Young. And then we kind of just, the way it flowed, we kind of kept it shorter. I think we kept some of our more experienced guys on the floor a little bit longer. But I thought the guys that came in to give those spot rests did a really good job within their role of doing that. Was able to keep guys fresh.
How important has been Emil's sort of integration into the team coming in as not just a player and a really good shooter, but really a leader and a guy that can bring these young guys along?
Yeah, I mean, just his experience. We just don't have guys that have played college basketball games, and Emil has. And he's actually not a very good three-point shooter. He just made 4 for 7 for 3. But just the experience, like he, Darius, and Cale Abrahamson are the only guys that have actually played multiple seasons of college basketball. Taryn hasn't, Renee hasn't, the freshmen haven't, So it's to have a guy on a court with some experience, it helps. And that's why, we've been inconsistent. We just don't have game experience yet, or season experience. And to have a guy like that play the way he did, I thought was huge.
Coach, can you talk about the fight in your team today? There was times where you guys had a few turnovers in a row, or it would start to gain some momentum. But guys like Isaiah Mike were kind of stepped up emotionally for you guys, and you guys stayed together and kept playing.
Yeah, I thought it was huge. I thought their fortitude and their mental toughness was huge. The things that they were saying in the timeouts, I didn't need to say much. Talking about defensive stops, and Isaiah Mike was a freshman, was pointing at my clipboard and pointing at the offensive end, saying it doesn't matter what happens on that end, we have to stay true and keep defending. And that's a freshman. So when you get a younger kid starting to say those things back, that the message is at least starting to get through there. Right? There are guys showed great toughness tonight because, as you guys that follow us know, we lost 2 games at the buzzer this year. We were up both of those games. Matter of fact, every game that we've lost, except for the Kentucky game, we have had a lead. Okay, so it's very easily could have been here we go again, but they didn't. They hung tough and they made the right place to win.